It's time for some shapes. Before we can do that, we have to go over to Dada. Because, thanks, Mini Stoge. Will that even fit? What happens when I try to? It just cuts it off. Clap, 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 and then it goes. Oh wait, no.
No, that's her entire comment.
That's the whole thing. That's what.
Yep.
Oh wow. Oh wait, and then she's got even more. She's got the /me command. Oh, I just realized that Colton made it so the text. Oh man, will size up and down as necessary. That's pretty neat. How neat is that? So, Dada, you've had some time to think about this. So we'll go to the standard questions with you. Ready? First up, here we go. Moon or Mars first?
Moon first. We've lost all of the industry and the people that have shown us how to do it previously. And
so get our space legs back?
We need to figure out how to get our space legs back. We need to figure out how to get funding, how to organize, how to structure things so that we don't kill people. Subcontractors don't make the thing that, there's I heard a story, I think, about a valve or a seal or something in one of the Saturn V components, and that material isn't made anymore. So in order to be able to do that thing, we can't anymore because they can't get or can't make that material. So we'd have to figure out another way to do that. And all of space is all about figuring out those individual tiny little engineering challenges that make the thing to be able to get us to go to space. And I think we need to figure out how to do that again. We don't have a vehicle that can do it yet. And
soon.
Hopefully soon. And hopefully very soon. But we need to figure out how to do the thing so that we can change that a little bit and then get to Mars.
I'm going to temporarily pause you. If I have a YouTube administrator, if we could kick ban Skywatch for violating rule number 2 and 3, that would be great. Next question is, would you go?
To you, Dada.
Yeah, I know it's to me, Mike. Thanks.
Oh, sorry.
They're all to Dada, Mike.
Yeah, I know, but I was just like, wait, did you hear? Sorry. Shut up.
I think I would go to. I think similar to you, Ben. I would go to the moon, but Mars is a really, really big commitment, and unless I was taking my entire family and some of my extended family, I don't know.
Light speed, like instant travel.
Yeah. So all right. So how about to the moon? 2-week journey. You got your multi-year journey and your 2-week journey. So 2-week journey.
Yeah, I'd go to the moon. I do want it to be a little more advanced than our current toilets that we have on the International Space Station because pooping is gross. But yeah, I'd do a 2-week journey to the moon.
And then on our 10-pack of tickets that Jeff is getting us, you guys will take one of each? Each of you will take one of our 10-pack? Okay.
I'd go.
Xanax, yes.
Xanax? Yeah, so we got a 10-pack of tickets and like a 5-pack of Xanax. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because Jared and I are both going to be in our seats like, oh, let's do it, sing. Oh.
Brianna and I are like, okay, just get there. It's cool, it's fine, we're fine, it's okay.
Yeah, Mannequin Skywalker's trip looked like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm all for Mannequin Skywalker. When do you think humans will first land on Mars?
2042.
2042. When do you think humans will land on the moon again?
2021.
2021. That's pretty aggressive. All right.
Yeah, I think somebody's gonna pull something out of their rear ends and blow NASA and the Russians and the Japanese away.
Who do you think? Do you think it's going to be Blue? Do you think it's going to be X? Do you think it's someone else? Maston?
I think either somebody's going to have a secret contract with SpaceX to put a gray dragon on the moon with a private party and say, haha, we did it, or Blue Origin's just going to show up one day with a fully edited video of,
them already doing it?
My vacation photos from Luna.
Blue Origin. It's like exactly what we don't want out of Blue
No,
Origin.
I know. It's terrible.
It's driving me bonkers.
Yeah.
It's weird. So if I may speak out of, all right. We're going to do Y Space, and then I'm going to rant about Blue Origin. Y Space.
One of the things that a lot of people don't know about me is that when I was 4, my mom tells me that I wanted to be a trash truck.
Yeah, were you able to become a trash truck?
I think my brother did too.
No. Not the trash man, but the trash truck.
The truck itself.
The truck itself,
I got it, yeah.
No, I sincerely think my brother did too.
I've always been an engineering fan, and growing up, the shuttle program was all I had, and I was fascinated with the fact that they could put this airplane in space, and it flew around, and it would come back and make sonic booms, and it was cool, and loud rockets and all that. I never concerned myself with the people. In 1986, the Challenger disaster was the first time that I guess I kind of recognized that there were people involved in this. And it's not the spaceship that made it happen, it's the people that made it happen. And while that affected me, I was more upset about the loss of the vehicle than the loss of the people. And I know that makes me sound harsh, but I was...
You were young.
9, whatever. And then Columbia happened. And I knew that that was people. But it didn't hit me until the... what is it? Capcom. You could very clearly hear a crack in his voice, and he said, lock the doors. And that particular moment in time was when the space program became about the people that were doing it and not the really cool vehicles that were involved. I've always wanted to design space things or aerospace things. I would have loved to have been a Lockheed engineer in the 60s and developed a Blackbird, or a Rockwell engineer in the 70s and developed the space shuttle. But it wasn't until that moment that it became about people. And I'm not a huge fan of people, typically. Anybody that knows me knows that this is true. But there are an astounding amount of really, really cool people that are involved in the space industry. And my limited experience on the fringes, I have several friends that work at SpaceX. I have several friends that work at other spacefaring companies in Southern California and around the country. And my relationship with those people solidifies, in my mind, the best of humanity. And I think that in order for humans to go and explore, what we've covered the entire globe. There's a little bit of oceans to discover, but beyond that, there's not a whole lot left. How cool would it be for a species that is millions of years old to put footprints and colonize a place that no one has ever been? No one. I'm not talking about natives or Indians or just your group that's never been. Like, no one has ever been there. And to make that a thing, you think about the settlers that came to the United States in the very beginning, and they thought that they were alone, and then they met Indians, so it wasn't really new. It was just new to them. But for humans to go and explore space and explore another planet, another body, is the epitome of everything that we can do that is good. And the people that are making that happen today, now, to me, represent the best of humanity.
That's a good answer. Mm-hmm. So, in addition to that, for Orbit 11, we're going to have to get a Dudicam. They are begging for a Dudicam. The problem is, go to camera 4. this is the shot of Dutta, and he has to face that direction to get that microphone. So either you get the back of his head, or you get us, but you don't, yeah.
And then you can't hear me.
Yeah. And you get a sideways space mic. You're ruining the illusion, Mike! So actually, TMRO does own 2 more cameras, but I had to use them at Company X, even though they're my cameras. They were short, so I took them, brought them over. I will have to take them back in order to get DuttaCam going, but we will work that for Orbit 11 because Dutta does have really great things to say, such as what he just did, and I think they do belong on the air. All right.
I'm like a fortune cookie.
So we have to crack you open?
Dutta is good. Dutta is wise.
What are my numbers? You know, my numbers. Don't they always have like the fortune numbers on the back?
No, you like the old fortune cookies, because the new fortune cookies make no sense.
The new fortune cookies aren't fortunes. They're just like...
They're like life tips.
Yeah, exactly. They're like on the
Clean up
top...
after your dog.
Yeah, on the top of Snapple, you'd have those things on the Snapple caps.
Facts.
Yeah, exactly. They're like facts, exactly. It's like, thanks, fact cookie. All right. Here's my thing with Blue Origin. I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth for a moment. And as someone mentioned, I'm not weird, right? I have a conflict of interest, which I kind of do, but I'm not talking at this. I'm coming at this from a space geek perspective, which is a lot of companies in aerospace have a nasty tendency of announcing things too early, and then. Promoting them too early, and then we're kind of like waiting for them and waiting for them and waiting for them, and then we don't have any video. That's wrong. Blue Origin has a nasty habit of building things, amazing things, flying them, and then after the fact going, here's the video. That's too wrong in the other direction. It needs to be somewhere in the middle where we don't want to hear about the new rocket that you're going to build in 20 years. I mean, neat, right? No one can think that far ahead. But at the same time, we want to be able to enjoy what you're doing with you. We want to get excited with you. I'd like to think that, I realize these are your rockets and this is your money and you can do whatever you want. I get that. But we want to cheer with you. We want to be excited with you. We want to help promote you. Even in accidents, we want things will go wrong. These are test vehicles. This is when things should go wrong, and we don't want to sit there and point at it and go, "Ha ha! Look, we said it wouldn't go wrong." We will be your advocates for being like, "Look, this is when things should go wrong. This is a test article. This is why you test."
I was going to say, when things go wrong in the aerospace industry, that's typically shared with as many people as possible, because if it's something that is like a fundamental flaw in design, then everybody's got that fundamental flaw in design. So when something goes wrong, everybody looks at it, and then typically whoever the thing went wrong with, they'll also like get back to everybody too.
Sure.
They'll be like, hey, this is why it actually went wrong, so your designs aren't bad, we just made a boo-boo somewhere. Or, hey, this thing that we thought we all fundamentally understood, we're all wrong about it, and we need to change it immediately. So.
And Green Jim says, I might not point at their test article, but sadly so many will. And here's the thing that people need to understand about space. You cannot hide it. You cannot. It is very large, and when things go sideways, they do so in a grand way that I guarantee you someone captured. Someone will get the vehicle having a rapid unscheduled disassembly on a it might be horrible video, but even though you're in the middle of nowhere, I will tell you from experience, someone's going to capture it. And by not letting us as humanity follow along with you and by being opaque instead of transparent, now instead of being able to point at that and go, look, it was just a test article. That's what's this is when it's supposed to. It sucks. That's not good. But these things happen. Now instead of that, they're gonna point at the video and be like, look at this opaque company. They're trying to hide these explosions from us, and it becomes so much worse from an optics standpoint. And the idea that you can hide these things, even on the ground, is absurd. So don't let us join in. Let us have fun. Preface this with this is a test. Control the conversation yourself. Don't put that control in our hands, or, I mean, if you gave
Tomorrow's pretty trustworthy, but a lot of other people
we would
aren't.
be like, we would do everything we could to be like, no, it's okay, calm down. But other people won't. So that's my suggestion. Maybe it's naive. I'll openly admit, maybe it's naive and too trustworthy.
Disney can't even hide Millennium Falcon with, like, what were those things? Shipping containers. They put shipping containers all the way around Millennium Falcon. They had it on the back of a lot or something. I'm not really sure what it was anymore. And freaking, like, Google Earth Imaging found it. Like, you're not gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyhow. That's
putting tarps on things doesn't mean that it doesn't exist anymore.
That may be a bit of a naive view because you do have news entities who are clamoring for eyeballs, and giant explosions give them eyeballs. And then rather than take an optimistic look, it's so easy to go pessimistic, as I did earlier today with the thing that I think I'm right on. So I get
Rule
it.
number 6, Ben always thinks he's right.
That's probably real. So I do get it. I do understand it. I wish it wasn't that way. And I wish we could follow along in real time and cheer with you and feel like we're part of what you're working on. But right now we feel like, I don't know. I don't know what the right words are. We just don't feel like we're a part of anything that you're doing.
And there's a Goldilocks zone too. So if you're familiar with the Goldilocks story, this one's too Virgin Galactic. This one's too Blue Origin. This one's just SpaceX.
Yeah,
Right?
It is. It can be frustrating, and it feels like your biggest fans are an afterthought.
Yeah.
And
it really does.
That's disheartening.
But, at the same time, they are a business. They need to do what's right for them.
Absolutely.
And Jeff Bezos is essentially paying for it out of pocket. It is his train set. And if he wants to keep his train set to himself, he can keep his train set to himself. I get that. I understand that.
Yep.
I think he's built an incredible train set, and I would like to enjoy his train set. That was a weird analogy. I went like that.
Didn't even hear yourself do it, did you?
No, I really didn't. Say that again, Dada.
Would you pay
To
enjoy his train set?
God, can we please stop with this analogy?
would I become
Would I become a shareholder just so I can see stuff?
No.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
I think shareholders is too large of a ticket price.
I mean,
yes,
it
I would
might
pay.
be, but that doesn't mean
I would become an investor, or if I could afford it, or if there was a monthly fee to view stuff, I absolutely would. Yes, without hesitation. I mean, it depends on whether I can afford it or not, right? If the monthly fee is $10 million, obviously I can't do that.
Right.
But, yes, I would. I promised to talk about Patreon and crowdfunding of tomorrow in general. I may break this out again this week because this is such an important part of tomorrow. It is what keeps us on the air and doing things. So I will be transparent with you. Here's the deal. Patreon reversed. They realized they screwed up, and they reversed.
literally sent out an email, and I think that was in the title of
They're
we're sorry we screwed up.
Right.
Or we know we screwed up, something along those. Yeah, we messed up. We're sorry. We're not rolling out the fees change was the title of the email. That was the subject line.
Right.
Nice of them to do that.
Right. I think we all kind of knew that was going to happen. There was very little chance of them actually following through with it, with the backlash that they got, because it was wrong. The feature, ultimately, it was not well thought through. Not just the deployment, just the change itself went against everything that made Patreon awesome. So I had a survey that basically said, what do you want us to do? And this is before they said we roll back our fee change. They gave you like 5 or 6 options. One of them was keep it the same, keep it per show. One of them was stay on Patreon but move the monthly. I gave you an option to go into maker support, which is kind of a Patreon, I don't want to call it a clone because it does look at life differently, but a competitor to Patreon, and minds.com, which is also a competitor to Patreon. And then the last option was do them all. Right? Why pick one when you can do them all? The downside of that is it's just a nightmare to maintain all that. So overwhelmingly, people said to stay on Patreon. Like 99% of people were like, nope, stay on Patreon. This is even before, again, they announced they're rolling back their fees. However, a majority of people also said, but move to monthly. And I'm leaning towards that option. And here's why. Right now, the minimum you can contribute to TMRO is $1 per episode. And if we do 4 episodes per month, that's $4. That means your minimum, the least amount that you can contribute to the show is $4. And I fundamentally disagree with that. The least amount you should be able to contribute is 1 penny, and I would actually like to make it so that you don't even have to contribute money, you can contribute time. This is what I'd love to see out of a crowdfunding system is I don't want to try to reward people who have money. I want to reward people who want to be a part of the show in any way possible. Money absolutely helps. So, right? Yes, I will take money. We need it to do the show. But you know what? Contributing time to help do social engagement, that helps too. Getting us out in front of other people, that helps too. Creating banners for the show, that helps. You can create things for the show and help just as much as a $1 or $5 pledge would help the show. And I would love a crowdfunding system to help support that. Now, Patreon doesn't do that today. They also don't ask their creators what they need, they just make assumptions. Fundamentally, this is my gripe with Patreon, is they do not listen to creators. They don't listen to us, they don't even tell us what they're going to do until they're about to do it. I didn't even know that they had changed from not being able to contribute 1 penny to $1 until I emailed them and said, hey, people can't seem to contribute this anymore. And they went, oh yeah, sorry, we took that away. None of that is okay. None of that is okay. However, there are very few options in the industry right now that allow you to do everything. There's Patreon, there's Maker support, and there's Minds.com. And each one of them has their own flaws. So staying with Patreon seems like the easiest thing. You're already there. They support PayPal. They support credit cards. I don't know that they're going to support cryptocurrency. That was something that you as a community asked for. I think it's a really great idea. I don't believe that they're going to support any form of non-monetary payment for the creators. That's not anything they've ever talked about. Those are 2 things that Minds.com does do. So you can do points-based system where you can contribute points instead of dollars. And you can do cryptocurrency, but that's coming in the future. But at least I know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
At least I have a game plan. What's Patreon going to do next year? No idea. No idea what's on their table. None whatsoever. Their weakest point has always been communication. So okay. And by the way, I've emailed them all of this. They have this. There was a survey they sent out. All of this data is in the survey. So. Moving to monthly. The advantage of moving to monthly is now my minimum to get into the show moves down from $4 per month to $1 per month. And that opens it up to more people, I think. And I want to open this up to as many people as possible. The other upside is that as we start adding more shows, we start adding science and we start adding tech, and we add in food, and we add in cities, which becomes transit most likely, things like that. By doing monthly, you contribute to TMRO as a whole, no matter what show it is, and all of the shows pull from the same pile of funds. The downside is we're immediately going to take a 4x decrease in funds, right? So I'm going to convert to monthly. I hit the little make this a monthly account instead, and instead of contributing $1 per episode or $4 per month, you're contributing $1 per month. So if we make this change, I'm going to send out a new poll to everyone that really only have the 2 options, just to make sure this is what the community wants. If I make the change and you're comfortable with increasing your pledge, we're going to change the reward structure so that it's $1 is ground support, $1 per month is ground support, $5 per month is suborbital, $10 per month is orbital, and $30 per month is escape velocity, which means ground support minimum requirement goes down, suborbital minimum requirement goes down. Is that right? Let's see here. I think all of them go down. The requirements to get into each tier gets lowered, but it does mean that you will have to increase your pledge in the system in order to maintain that if that makes sense. So you need to say, yes, I'm going to give you more money, but I'm doing it per month, so it's less money.
Right.
It's less money per month, but
because if you were $10 an episode at 4 episodes, you were $40 a month, but now you'd be $30 a month.
That's
But you
correct.
have to change it from $10 to $30.
That's correct. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's going to be confusing.
Yep.
So, at Mingleward, when is Cities coming back? Cities is on the back burner. The host of Cities got hired at a major aerospace company.
And suddenly doesn't have time.
It doesn't have time. Totally understandable.
Turns out.
But I have been working with some other people I don't know that Cities will come back in the form that you saw it, but we might change it to transportation. So, yeah, and on YouTube, Alan Brown says $1 per month is in the same spirit as 1 penny per show. Yeah, I mean, the spirit ultimately, though, is it should be $0. I want to give you the ability to contribute and make this show part of, how do I word that? You are contributing to the show in some way. And I personally don't believe that monetary is the only way that you can contribute, but you should be rewarded for the other things that you do.
Yeah.
There's just isn't a good platform today that allows me to do that. Minds.com is the closest, but it has its own issues. Like its back end is basically non-existent. So you can contribute credits, you can contribute dollars, but I have no way to actually know who does what. So I can't create the slates. It's like, you are so close. You're so close.
Mini Stoge, that's hilarious.
And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like people who would take the time to share our videos on social media and anywhere that you can possibly think of, any type of space forums that you can possibly think of, I feel that is as equally as beneficial to us as donating money.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. The more people we can bring in and the whole point of this show is to get humanity excited about space. Simply having funds doesn't do that. I mean, it certainly helps because we get a studio space, we can bring people in, we can do the things necessary to get the bandwidth to keep the show online. That absolutely helps. The other thing that helps is sharing the show. And if I could reward people for that, I would. The last option...
Maybe we could do it under like some sort of TMRO street team setup or something like that so that we can still reward people for it somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, right. So again, Minds.com is the closest to this, and I thought what they were doing was one of the most innovative. The two concerns I have is on the back end side, I have no way of tracking who's doing what. Not at all, really. So I want to create that escape velocity slate. I can't. I can't say here are the people helping me, which defeats the point, right? Because you are a part of the show. Your name should be in the show. You helped make this happen. So, okay, Mini Stoge says she has a solution. I will talk with her. Gleam.io. All right, I will look at Gleam. Mini Stoge, Gleam.io. I will look at Gleam.io. I looked at a bunch of these things. There's always seems to be some downfall, but all right. Green Jim, not everyone wants rewards. That is a valid point too. And if you want to contribute to the show and you don't want your name in the show, you don't want a reward, one of the things I do like about Patreon is you can select no reward. You can contribute anonymously. You should still be able to do that. You should be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah. Tim
End
says,
statements.
Tim says, or yearly donation.
Yes, yearly, annual. That is another thing I would love, right? The ability, if you want to do it annual, if you want to do it monthly, I would actually like it if you could even do it weekly. I want to make it so that whatever you are comfortable with, that is how you should be able to contribute to the show.
Well, it would be nice if you
Money,
watch
time.
the show and you go, oh, I like this episode. Oh, I didn't like that episode. So I'm going to give money.
That gets complicated because
It does, but it would just be nice.
Sure, if you didn't like an episode, do you still get your name in that episode because you didn't contribute to it?
Well,
and then
there's-
how do I?
Sure. There's whatever. There's
No,
that
I
part
get it.
of but
I get it. Yeah. So anyway, it's whatever you want. That ultimately, that's what I want. Thanks, Vogon. That's neat. An annual GoFundMe. Yeah. So
We can have a telethon.
oh God, no.
so
You were not around for the 24 hours worth of Yuri's Night telethon that we had. It was not a telethon, but it was
It was
brutal.
It was brutal. It was
So
actually
brutal.
pretty cool. There were some great moments that came out of that, but
yes.
it was brutal.
I always want to talk to the Slavic countries.
Angry Young Spaceman wants to wish everyone a happy holidays. So I'm trying to hit the button.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. There you go. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. I'm going to send out a new poll on Patreon. My plan is, my hope is that if we do make a change to monthly, I'm not committing any changes this time. I want the community to support it.
Damn it, Mini Stoge.
What'd she say?
What's a telethon?
Oh, yeah. If we do make a change, and I'm going to look at Gleam.io as well, and if we do make a change, I would like to make it by orbit 11. So I am running out of time. The idea being, as we spin on these other shows, I'd like it all to be in place before that, so we don't have to make a very large and complex change halfway through an orbit. So this feels like the right time to make a change if we're going to do it. So chances of staying with Patreon are high. I will check out Gleam.io. If that service offers everything I just mentioned, then I will make a very passionate plea to the community to move over. But that's my thought process on that. Love to know what you think. Leave it in the comments below.
Somebody asked how the plants are doing.
So Planet number 9 isn't a thing.
Planet number 9 isn't a thing.
Isn't a thing.
Planet number 9 isn't a
Why?
thing.
What happened to it?
It's just not growing.
It's literally just not growing.
No!
I know.
Yeah.
Oh no!
There's
Water
no.
it?
The models were wrong.
There is no Planet number 9.
The models were wrong.
All of the other plants grew.
Let me hang on. Let me
At least a
grab
tiny bit.
Yeah, I'll grab
But
a
Planet
camera.
number 9 did not.
Or something?
I hate
You
everything.
guys water it?
Yeah,
All those
it's a weird watering system where like you just put some water in it.
I hate everything.
And then you like leave it forever. The lettuce looks great.
It does actually. It's making me hungry looking at it. So.
All right. Dada, can you gain up on camera? What is this?
3, 2,
One.
1. Cool.
It should say on here. So yeah, camera 1. There should be like a gain. Is it at 12? Oh wait, no, it's 6. Yeah.
Gleam is non-monetary. It's non-monetary contributions like sharing, liking, following, subscribing, etc.
So that's neat, and maybe we can do that. But what I want is one platform to rule them all. I shouldn't have to have Patreon and Gleam. I should have.
Yeah, you should.
There they are.
Once again, Ben, you are well ahead of your time. No surprise there. You're not going to get what you want for at least, I don't know, 10 plus years.
Well, the other thing I've been thinking about is maybe we do have what you want. We talk about ways to help contribute. There are programmers on the show. Maybe we create our own system. And if we did that, I would open it up, right? It shouldn't just be for tomorrow. It should be for all shows like us who want to do the same thing. If Patreon's not going to listen to its creators, maybe the creators on the platform should make a system that works for everyone. Just thinking out loud, right?
Yeah.
Not saying we're going to. I'm saying, wouldn't it be cool if we created a platform that allowed you to contribute via credit card, via PayPal, via credits, via sharing on social, whatever method that you want, annually, monthly, per episode, whatever. It's not our show, it's your show, so.
It's almost 1.
I know. All right. Oh, we do have to leave soon. Scott says I'll start. Right. So it should be more than one programmer. I mean, if you are a programmer and you think this is an interesting project, let me know, because we have other projects we do, right? We've got Launch Library. That is an API for developers to pull launch data. We have incredible librarians that support the library. TMRO pays for that. That's one of the things that your contributions help go for. TMRO pays for the library so that people can get excited about rocket launches. Maybe what we do next is we create a platform that shows can use to help monetize what they're doing.
Yeah,
And
that'd be
maybe
brilliant.
that's what we need to do next. I don't know. I really, ultimately though, it's kind of like what Elon says about SpaceX. He's like, I don't want to have to build everything. Someone do this at a reasonable price and we'll use it. That's how I feel. I don't want to build this thing. Someone do this for me.
But you,
I don't want to do this.
All I can think of is Ali
Someone
Wong.
do this for me. Please. Someone build a creator-friendly crowdfunding system that does more than just money. Please. All right.
and on that note,
Oh man.
On that note, Space Mike.
On that note, it's been an awesome year.
thank you so much for joining us, Space Mike, for all of the orbits that you've been on. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
You've been a
great
great
stuff.
asset to the show. And we love that you know every nut and bolt of a rocket. That is a bonus. No, that is a bonus because we can always be like, I don't know, Mike.
It's great to have that.
It is great to have
This
that.
thing and this thing instead of this thing, and that's how you can tell the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jared, it has been so much fun. You have gotten me somewhat passionate about...
Somewhat passionate.
Hey, I went from 0 to somewhat. That's good. About planets and more than just life.
Should I bring my telescope over to you guys for something?
Maybe.
Like we have a telescope, like a star party night at the Higginbotham's house or something?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Actually, that would be fun. I feel like we should do something...
We do have to wait for the planets to be out, which is going to be
I
like
was gonna say,
another
that's
4 to
actually
5
kind of
months.
a terrible idea at
So-
our place because there's so much light like
No, but like maybe like here or something and just
Sure.
kind of, I don't know. I feel like maybe like we should make that an event more than just us.
Maybe
somehow.
I can figure out a night that we all can go to Mount Wilson and have a night on the 60 or 100 inch telescope up
Yeah,
there.
it seems like it should be more it needs to be like a bigger group. You know what I mean? Like more than us. Like
Yeah.
let's open it up to the community and do
Sure.
something really cool.
Sure.
Carrie Ann, as always, thank you for being with me.
I have to be here.
You don't. That's the thing.
I do have a question
Yeah.
for the community.
Yes.
I want to know your guys' opinion as to which was your favorite episode this orbit, or episodes.
That'd
That's
be
a
pretty
question
cool.
I'd like
so.
to put to you guys.
Thank you for being here. I know you don't have to be. And
Yeah,
Dada
yeah.
and Kat, both, thank you. Kat for letting us steal Dada for an obscene amount of time for this incredible set. We abused the crap out of him.
This was fun to make.
Sure.
I had a good time, even though we
I did-
accidentally shot a nail into my finger at one point.
I didn't have a bad time. I didn't have a bad time, but it was definitely an undertaking. I think it turned out extremely well. I'm very happy with how it looks.
I love the
It-
show. I
it-
love you guys, but I both loved and hated this show last year. So it's a love-hate relationship.
It was a lot of work, but it was a great reward.
It really was. It came out great. I'm very happy with it. And week after week, Dada's in sitting in a small room directing the show, making it happen without ever he never complains. Star. Except for the logo that we cannot mount to that wall to save our lives. And thank you all for contributing to the show, as we've said, via time and money, showing up live and being part of the community. It has been a lot of fun. I hope to make Orbit 11 even better. We laid a lot of groundwork ourselves this year for doing really cool things moving forward. So thank you. We have Star Wars tickets that we need to all go to.
Yeah.
So, and Mike, we need to figure out how to include you in these movie things and whatnot in the future as well. So let's you and I talk after the fact. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in 2018.
See you next year.